jumped on Cleveland Browns, Josh. They have a new stadium name. We know there's been new stadium names in all sports all over the country as of like the last 3, 4 years. Huntington, I don't know. I don't know. Are you with me on this? It doesn't feel like it fits Cleveland.
Huntington Bank Field. Ugh. I mean, I'll tell you what. When the Browns said they had a special announcement, everybody thought it was going to be either them announcing that they're going forward with the Brook Park plan or they're going forward with renovating their current stadium. So this kind of feels like a bit of a letdown. You know what I
Well,
mean?
I will say that Mary Kay Cabot tweeted out 10 minutes prior to the event that the news was not about the potential renovation or the moving of a dome. So, unless you didn't see it on Twitter, which again, I know a lot of people aren't on there anymore, whatever the case may be, X, if you will. But that was kind of squashed before the event happened. And yeah, again, it's all about the money in this case. Huntington Bank, I'm sure, paid a premium. It's the same thing as, American Airlines Arena in Miami has been renamed like 5 different times within the past 2 years. We know here in Cleveland, the Q got renamed to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Formerly Jacobs Field is now Progressive Field. It goes with the territory. It's going to get used to saying Huntington Bank Field, just like it took some time to get used to First Energy Stadium. But I just feel like no matter where they go, right, no matter if it's on the lake, no matter if it's that dome, Cleveland Browns Stadium, for whatever reason, to me, has felt like the perfect name for that situation, for this fan base. Because as I told you, Josh, regardless how we both feel about, the professional football team in our hometown of Cleveland, Ohio, the Browns fans may be unapologetically the most passionate fans in all of sports.
I can You can make an argument for that. Um it's interesting that you mentioned how like fans are still going to call it Cleveland Browns Stadium cuz I hear a number of fans still call Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse as the Q.
And so do I.
Yeah, and I feel like I still hear a number of fans call it Jacobs Field instead of Progressive Field. Maybe not as much, but I feel like that's still a bit of a
Yeah, that I agree. I think it's mostly, it all depends on eras, right? I have said that the 4 years that we went to war, and don't mistake it, we did go to as literal war as you could with a basketball team with the Golden State Warriors. Those were the best 4 years of Cleveland Cavaliers basketball we may ever see in our lifetime. I do feel that the 95 and 97 and throw 96 in there if you want, those Indians teams when they were the Indians back then, those runs may be the greatest era of Indians baseball we may have ever seen, and we weren't alive for it.
you
So,
could throw 2007 and 2016 into the mix.
but you could, but those were sort of one off years. They weren't consecutive like they were 95, 96, 97. Those teams were prohibited favorites. They probably would have won the World Series in 94 if it wasn't for the strike. So I'm looking at it from an era perspective. I think in Cleveland, definitely in our lifetime, right? The last 4 years have been the best the Browns have been in the best 25 years. And I think in this new era now, as hopefully the Browns are going to work to turn it around this season, I think whichever stadium is the name when the Browns eventually do, and I do believe someday in life the Browns will get back and go to the Super Bowl for the first time in franchise history. That's what people will call that stadium, whether it's Huntington Bank or whatever it will be.
Yeah, because you know what everybody just calls Cleveland Browns Stadium, First Energy Stadium, Huntington Bank Field? Factory of Sadness.